What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back for another video. And unfortunately, we're reporting the passing of Gustavo Badell. Passes at 50 years of age. And for those who don't know who Gustavo Badell is, he was a very formidable competitor back in the 2000s, in 2004, and I believe it was 2005 as well. He was top three in the Mr. Olympia, placing third behind Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler, two guys who won multiple Mr. Olympias. Ronnie Coleman, obviously, with 8 Mr. Olympias, and Jay Cutler with 4 Mr. Olympias. It's not yet known the reasons and the cause of the passing of Gustavo Badell, but we do know this to be true, unfortunately. And you see him on stage here at the 2005, I believe it was, Mr. Olympia, where he brought one of his best packages. And really, he was a guy that had a balanced physique. He brought a lot of thick, dense muscle. I know he's worked with the likes of Mil Sarchev in the past, and I'm not sure if he worked with too many other coaches and whatnot, but he was a very, very formidable competitor. So firstly, rest in peace, Gustavo Badell. And we're going to have a little bit of info about Gustavo, show him in some more footage as well, and also show how we found out about the passing of Gustavo Badell, and also a message that he left on his Facebook page, which is very, very interesting in terms of health as well. So looking through this, I mean, Gustavo, you can see he had a great physique. It's not the highest of video quality, but it's good enough to see what sort of a competitor he was, and that is a very, very good one. So I'll skip forward in this footage a little bit to go to the challenge round against Ronnie Coleman, who he actually beat. He beat Ronnie Coleman in what was the challenge round, I believe, of 2004. I've only got one pose from this challenge round, which was the back double bicep, which was one of the poses he lost to Ronnie Coleman on. And let's go to that in just a moment. That's a young Dan Solomon. If you guys don't know, it was just up on the screen. Now, this is him versus Ronnie Coleman in that 2004 challenge round. And this was Ronnie Coleman's pose. So these guys basically chose a pose that they did to go against each other. And, you know, Ronnie Coleman obviously choosing the back double bicep. But yes, there is a comment here saying the man got a kidney transplant, something my father was not. I'll put this up on the screen. This is from JF. Something my father was not blessed to get. And this drug, oh yeah. I don't want to actually feature that on the screen. Sorry, I didn't read that full comment. But yeah, incredibly unfortunate for Gustavo Badell to obviously lose his life at 50 years of age. Incredibly, incredibly sad. And I did hear on Mr. Olympia TV that he did have kidney issues as well. I don't know if this is true or not, but that was, I believe, the case. So very, very sad news on the passing of Gustavo Badell. And you can see him here training. This is one of the Battle for the Olympia DVDs, which I actually remember watching this specific DVD back in the day and watching this workout. And Gustavo brought a lot of attitude, a lot of, when I say attitude as well, apparently he was the nicest of guys, but he had, you know, he's one of these guys that just had a lot of personality, and you could really see it, you know, and it really came out of him. So very, very sad news. But let's go to some of these posts that I was talking about. Gustavo's, you can see him there. A lot of personality, and really was, I suppose, an entertaining guy in bodybuilding. So very, very sadly missed. Let's now, I'll share my screen and show you guys these posts and how we found out about the passing of Gustavo, but also what Gustavo said about health on his page. So this initially was how we found out about the passing of Gustavo Badell. I'll make the screen a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see it a bit more. And this is from Jerry Rivera. So this guy was obviously friends with Gustavo Badell. He's got 4.1 million followers. And it says he's an artist. I don't know what kind of artist, but it seems like a music artist, obviously like a singer or something. It says, with pain in my soul, I say, this is obviously translated too, with pain in my soul, I say, see you soon, little brother of my life. Thank you for the brotherhood, love, life lessons. I carry you in my heart, and I know we'll see each other very soon. So that's Gustavo Badell, obviously, in more recent years. You can see, obviously, he downsized quite a bit, and he really did take health into consideration, obviously, after the early years as well, because I saw this on Gustavo's profile, and it's actually ironic. I saw this as the first thing I was searched for on Facebook. This is the first post I saw, so this was a memory from 3 years ago. He reshared it on the 23rd of February, and this is when we're having a lot of passings in bodybuilding as well. So this is what Gustavo Badell said. Now this is translated, so it's probably slightly off, but It says, "We are living in a very concerning moment in the sport of fitness and bodybuilding. Since young athletes die due to heart failure because of being careless or because their coaches are saying having high levels of liver or kidney are normal for the simple fact that they don't want to send them to the doctor because they lose a client," and put in brackets, money, and say to them that nothing going to happen. This doesn't have an end because the only one who cares is yourself. No federation is responsible, or better said, they say don't care. The game must continue. I advise you to do blood work constantly before and after each process. It doesn't matter if you compete or not, to create longevity and good health. If you have a high liver enzyme, if you have a liver enzyme high, look for a health professional or a doctor who can help you regulate. Says alternations, but it means alternatives. Take care of your health because a pro card of any federation does not exempt you from a cardiac attack or renal failure. Team Badell, we worry about you at all times while you improve your body. So it seems like he took a real health approach to bodybuilding and with his clients as well, because I believe he was a trainer and that's how he made his living in his, more recent years. So it's incredibly sad, and this is just another huge reminder as to why we need to take care of our health, why we need to really, I suppose, make this paramount, because we're seeing a lot of these, mass monsters of the early 2000s, of the 90s, and when the mass monster era really came in, with Dorian Yates winning with Mr Olympia in the 90s, winning 5 times, we are seeing the effect of this. We are seeing that guys that have a huge amount of weight, that push things really hard, that take obviously a lot of oral type things, they are losing their lives, and it is incredibly sad to see. So it seems like obviously the passings of the last few years made guys sort of stand up, take note, and really reconsider things. I know a lot of the top guys, I've had conversations with a lot of the top guys that really take their health a lot more serious now, in terms of whether that's taking, trying to offset some of the negatives of bodybuilding by taking health supplements, by getting their blood work done more regularly, by avoiding the use of certain orals and things like that. And they still obviously want to be the best of the best, but they're taking their health into consideration a bit more than maybe previous generations that would, maybe not take as much even, but do it in a more reckless way. So I'm glad that this does obviously warn people of the dangers, but regardless, we've lost obviously a great of the sport, a top 3 Mr. Olympia finisher, and someone who I think was actually a really nice guy as well. I messaged Gustavo some years back. I don't have the messages anymore. It was on my former Facebook accounts, which someone basically hacked and got rid of, so I can't look back and see those messages, and then I lost the opportunity to interview Gustavo from losing that account, so which is incredibly sad. So just want to say rest in peace to Gustavo Badell. He was a great. He will go down as a great in this sport, and just incredibly sad news. And I'll skip forward a little bit in this footage because I know there's some of Gustavo posing, which is pretty much between every set, but I think it's a little bit later on we get to see him posing a little bit more. There we go. So this is in, I believe it was called Flamingo's Golds, which was in Las Vegas. I don't know if Gustavo lived in Las Vegas, but this was a very famous Gold's Gym, which Jay Cutler trained in, and many other great bodybuilders. I believe Dennis Wolf even trained here a little bit. And you can see, obviously, phenomenal bodybuilder. And I just want to say as well, condolences to Gustavo's family, his friends. The cause of death at the moment is unknown, but it appears that he did have kidney issues, and that may have led to the unfortunate passing of Gustavo Badell, like we saw with Tom Prince, and like we've seen with other guys as well. Boston Lloyd had kidney issues, a whole bunch of guys. So I urge everyone, get your markers checked. Bloods, sometimes isn't enough. Your bloods can come back as being great, and it doesn't mean you're healthy on the inside. It doesn't mean you've got certain types of organ issues and things like that. So getting good blood work isn't really enough. Dave Palumbo's stressed it as well, getting, echocardiogram and things like that to check your heart. Rich Kaspari really was saved from the advice from Dave Palumbo and others about getting his heart checked, because he was, borderline about to have a heart attack. So if you are going to do this stuff, if you are going to push things and do things to this level, just get checked, guys. I encourage everyone to do that. But anyway, guys, that's it for this one. Rest in peace, Gustavo Badell. And that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we're out.